Hello guys, welcome to the fiction series. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto got harem with Android 18, Bulma and Hinata. Part 1. Huge shout out to POKEGOD21 for this story. If you want more awesome fan fiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. Doctor, get in here quick, a brown hair male nurse said as he attended to 4 babies that are with him. What is it I was examining? Something the doctor said as he came into the room. It's unbelievable. It appears Minzu and Toma's children hair and tail are different and Bardock's kid has an amazing set of lungs. The younger female nurse said, looking at the children. One on the left hand middle was Kakarot. On his right is an unusual red-haired Saiyan. His hair was red with blonde and black streaks that are pointed out in different directions and up, along with 2 bangs on the side of his eyes. While his eyes were purple, think Zyker hair, but different color and no spikes. His tail was blood red along with most of his head. This child was Naruto. The one next to him was another baby that has ash silver hair but was spiky and long down to his shoulders and a large bang covering his left eye while his eyes were amber. Think of Madara's hair, but shorter and different color, and just like Naruto his tail was different, it was ash silver like his hair. The child's name says Kaizen. The last one on Kakarot's left was a light-skinned Saiyan with dark eyes, long spiky black hair reaching his mid-back and short bangs framing his forehead, and a brown regular Saiyan tail. His name says Broly. Red hair and tail, and the other has ash silver. Even though their power are excellent for elite or mid-class Saiyans, the king's orders were to have newborn sent to off-world planets, except Broly. Paragus is speaking to the king about him now, the doctor said. But doctor, maybe we can examine the ash silver to see what caused it, the male nurse said, hoping it has something to do with a certain legend. No, you know the orders, but we will send these 2 to the same planet, but in different locations to fully exterminate the planet, the doctor said, picking up the 3 of the 4 babies and placing them in space pods. As he was just finished typing the coordinates for Kakarot and watched as all 3 Saiyans went off to complete their mission, he looked up and saw what looked like an orange sun coming for the planet. May you find and kill those responsible children, he said, and in a minute the planet was evaporized. 15 years later on planet Ilium. The 15-year-old Naruto, or Naruto Uzumaki or others call him the demon brat, the midnight ape or freak, was being hanged up by a snake like Chunin, while his teammates only standing in pure fear from the man's killing intent. Ah, that fire in your eyes is very impressive, Naruto-kun, but I can't allow you to interfere with my plans. Goju Fuin, 5 elements seal, the Chunin said, and slammed his 5 fingers that were burning with purple fire into his stomach, creating a strange symbol over his original. The imprint was done. Naruto fainted. Once done, the snake-like ninja tossed Naruto aside, sending him falling to the ground. HM, now that he is out of the way, I'll deal with Sasuke-kun, he said, running at Naruto's 2 teammates. Inside his mindscape. Whoa, so that snake guy threw me into a sewer, Naruto said as he walked down the corridor looking around until he heard a malevolent voice. This way. Down the end of the corridor, going against his better judgment, Naruto headed down the end, only to see what looked like a gigantic jail cell with a paper with a symbol seal on it and 2 large menacing red eyes with slit pupils looking at him. You're the QP, Naruto said. Silence. You have no right to even talk to me, ninja. You are a disgrace from who you really are, but I suppose I have to thank you. Fake, now the real you is awake due to your stupidity, and my real host is awakened, QP said, chuckling. What are you talking about? I'm not a fake, I am Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm going to be Hokage Furball. Believe it, Naruto said, glaring and pointing at the great beast. Oh god, is that what they created me into, Kurama? Why haven't you ate him? Yet an unknown voice said, causing Naruto to look around and see a figure that looks like him, only with a few. Naruto's hair was spiky blonde, like the Yondai maze. This guy hair was red with blonde and black streaks, pointing out in different directions and up, along with 2 bangs on the side of his eyes where Naruto had whiskers. The other guy had not. His skin was more tan than Naruto's and his height was 5'9". Also where Naruto wore an orange jumpsuit. Okay, seriously, I mean, I love Naruto and all, but what the hell Kishimoto is with that much orange? It's horrifying. The figure wore some type of weird black and white armor, gloves and boots, and a furry bell. Oh shit, that's a tail, Naruto thought. No shit, fake, of course it's a tail, but what do I care? You won't be here for much longer, so I will enjoy your stupidity, Kurama said with a prideful grin. Hey Furball, I don't know who that is, but I'm not a fake, you son of a bitch. Naruto was about to finish, but was hit and sent flying into the wall. Only thing he seen was a red flash. Disrespectful brat, your yelling is driving me insane. Only one that beats it is that howler monkey of a teammate you have. Yell again, and my tail is going to hit you a lot harder than a light slap, the unknown figure said, causing Naruto's eyes to go wide and Kurama to howl in laughter. That was his tail, that was a light slap. What the hell, who is this guy and how strong is he? Naruto thought, only to get another howling laugh by Kurama, and now the unknown man. Well, at least he asked a serious question, Kurama. To answer, you are a fake created by seals someone put on me to control. I am the true person that has now been awakened. I am Naruto Saiyan from the planet Vegeta, sent here to wipe out the planet, except for a certain few I met before becoming you, an abomination of everything I believe in, so now Jana. The figure now named Naruto said and thrusted his hand into Naruto's stomach. Why? Wait, what? About. Who or dream, Naruto said, trying to reason with the Saiyan lookalike of him. Your dream of Hokage, ha. That was never mind. Now let me put this in a way you can understand. I'm about to blow my load all over your insides. Wathi no homo. Naruto finished and shot a Kai blast through Naruto's stomach, destroying the seal version completely. Finally, I'm free from eyesore of a fake. Thank you, Naruto, Kurama said to the real one. No problem, Nai-san. Now I must save those 2 specs and find the others. We'll leave in a during a month extension to travel. I'll talk to you tonight, Naruto said and walked out of his mindscape. On the outside. Naruto awoke on the outside, examining his clothes. To his surprise, the orange Kill Me jumpsuit was gone and replaced with a long open black sleeveless trench with a white t-shirt on it with the kanji for fox on it. He also wore gray baggy pants and gold boots with black lines formed into a 4-pointed star. Having looked at his new clothes, Naruto wrapped his tail around his waist and cracked his knuckles and neck. Nai-san, out of all thing you impress me again. Now where are those weaklings, Naruto said and focused on sensing their chakra signature until he found them, but also felt multiple other signatures and flew toward them. There's 3 of them with the same signature as the sound team. Perfect, Naruto thought and flew faster toward the signatures. As Naruto flew down, both Odo and Konoha Genin were surprised to see a red-haired with blonde and black streak guy who stood 5'9". What the funk are you weaklings looking at, Naruto said, glaring at everyone and releasing a small amount of killing intent, making them shudder. Naruto Sakura asked, looking at Naruto. No, I'm a emo pyre who funking sparkles, he said in a mocking tone, then took a pause. Wait, hold on, he said and vanished. Elsewhere. Achu sneezed, a very pale man with amber eyes. Edward, are you okay? A female voice said, the man known as Edward. Yay Bella, I just felt like someone is talking about me, he said and kissed her passionately. Oh yes, I love you, Edward, Bella said, and I love you. Bella, he said and then heard a knock on the door. Hold on. Who is it? Oh, you know, a voice said suddenly. Kai blast shot through the door, hitting Edward many times over until he collapsed dead. A real funking badass. He said and vanished, leaving a crying Cullen family and Bella with the sun pointed at them from a hole in the roof, making them sparkle, yet the last thing they heard was a to all Twilight fans. Don't care if you hate me or stop reading for this, it was so funking worth it. Back to the Forest of Death. Sorry about that, I had to go for a walk. Now where were we, he said. No way you can be Narubaka, if so you must be using a henge to outshow Sasuke-kun, the howler monkey from hell. I mean Sakura Haruno shouted at Naruto. Arg, shut the hell up, you goddamn howler monkey. The Naruto you knew is never coming back. I'm the real deal, and my name is Naruto. I have more important things to do than to listen to a pathetic excuse of a Kunoichi whose only goal in life is to chase a breeding emo who only cares for revenge. So again, shut the hell up, Naruto stated, while adding Kurama chakra to his voice at the end to make it more menacing. Now if you funking excuse me, I have business to take care of, he said, turning toward the Odo team, but before he took a step he felt a sudden power surge from behind. So this is the power he was offering. Naruto, is that you? Sasuke said, waking up with dark purple chakra swirling around him and looking at the new and improved Naruto. I have no reason to answer a question you know already, now go play with your corner, Naruto said and turned back to the sound team and walked to them. Hey, don't you ignore me, dope, Sasuke shouted. Why, it appears nothing good comes out of that useless mouth of yours. Maybe Itachi should have killed you. To shame, I couldn't ask him, but maybe he won't mind if I finish the you aren't worth killing, Naruto said, not even looking at him. Now you 3 drop your scroll and leave. If you return I will kill you, he said, adding enough killing intent to make his point, causing them to drop their scrolls and flee immediately. Oh, how dare you take my kill away from me, Sasuke said to him, glaring. Please, I spared them on a whim because they were scared and my name is not dope. Before Sasuke could register he was hit in the back of the neck, sending him into the sweet world of unconsciousness by our young red Saiyan. Naruto Baka, how dare you knock out Sasuke, Sakura shouted before meeting the same fate as made 2 clones to carry his teammates. Take the scrolls you need and move out toward the tower, Naruto said to the other Konoha Genin teams. Why are you helping us? I thought you didn't care. Ino asked a question that was going everyone's mind. We're still friends, aren't we, Ino-chan? Ten-chan, Nekji-chan, he said, winking, making all the girls blush. Then he flew toward the tower. Only thing on the 3 girls' mind was one thing: he's back at the tower. Naruto made it to the tower with little effort and read the instructions on the only and ordered the 2 clones to toss down the idiots and then took out the scrolls. He then rolled them out and placed them down in an X position. Soon smoke erupted from the scrolls but soon faded revealing Iruka. Congrats guys, your team made I. Wait, what happened to Sakura and Sasuke, and who are you? Iruka said, taking out kunai and going in a defensive stance. Relax, it's me Naruto, thanks to that fake stupidity I'm finally free. It's good to see you back then Itato, I assume you're gonna get payback, Iruka asked, relaxing out of his stance. You know me so well Aniki, but first I gotta pay someone a visit and take these two weaklings please, the redhead said then vanished. Then oh hey, you have no clue who you funked over, Iruka said, then picked Sasuke and Sakura and placed them in a room. 5 days later, the end of the second exams. The remaining 21 teams who were able to make it this far were all lined up in a room along with their Jonin senseis. Alright maggots, congratulations on passing the second exam, Anko said, adding chakra into her voice so everyone can hear well. At least that eliminated the teams, now only 21 are left, but I was hoping for 10 or less, oh well. Well Kakashi, your students did good but mine are here as well and did better. Your students' luck runs out now because mine are out of their class, Guy said to his eternal rival. Huh, did you say something? Kakashi said, not even bothering to look from his book, but only one thought came in his head. Damn, the Uchiha made it. I was hoping for only Naruto. I miss the original though. It seems his demeanor has changed back to the original and his clothes changed as well. Kakashi was right too. During the whole speech of the Hokage, Naruto was calm. The redhead's outfit consisted of a high-collared long-sleeve leather jacket with a light brown strap and buckle around his neck and was zipped up, except the bottom revealing a grey undershirt. He was also wearing black fingerless gloves with the kanji for Oblivion on his left and the kanji for Nightmare on his. He was wearing black leather pants with brown straps and buckles going down to his steel-toe combat. The boy was in his own world talking to Kurama. So Nai-san, are we ready to go with our plan? Naruto asked the strongest of the tailed beasts through their connection. Yes we are actually, but you might want to stay for this part of the exam for another traveler. I'm sensing, Kurama told his host, causing Naruto's eyes to widen the size of dinner plates. What do you mean other traveler? Watch Kit, the other is about to be revealed, QB told him. Naruto watched the screen to see who would be next and was surprised by the result. Aizen Kazuki of Iowa versus Sasuke Uchiha of Konoha. Aizen, that sounds like a Saiyan name, Naruto thought. Correct, if what I'm feeling is right then he is a Saiyan, but there's also something else, but it fades before I can detect it, spoken the Biju King again, sending Naruto's eyes the size of dinner plates. As Kaizen walked down, Naruto examined him. His height was about 5'10". He wore a blood red short sleeve muscle shirt with a medium black denim jacket over it. Thinks Trunks jacket but smaller and black. Also he had on Anbu arm guards and white fingerless metal plate glove. He has ash silver hair, but was spiky and long down to his shoulders, and one half of the front covering his left eye. His eyes were like Sasuke's, but darker and colder, as if resembling, and also wore baggy grayish-white pants that had black dragon's design that were coiling around his leg. He also had on blood red boots with black claw marking design on them, and to wrap it up, he had a fuzzy thing around his waist like Naruto, who soon realized it was a tail, a ash gray tail. You might as well give up already. I would trash. I'm an Uchiha elite, no one can beat me, Sasuke said with his arrogant smile. Uchiha. Uchiha, oh that's right, you're part of the clan who was killed by one man who was an Uchiha, your older brother, Kaizen mocked with a grin. You worm, I'll kill you, Sasuke shouted and charged blindly at Kaizen, hoping to land a punch on him. Uyanbi-sama, do I have to? He's so boring. I don't get why the other Saiyan and me didn't destroy Eliam already, Kaizen thought while dodging Sasuke's punches. I know, young one, but we need to show the other Saiyan what we're capable of, so let this weakling have it, Yambi said to his host. Yay, I know Rashi has the 4 tails, but in all fairness, since Naruto has Kurama, this made more sense for the other Saiyan. Stand still, Sasuke said and started 2 for hand signs, then finished with the Tora seal. Pain. Pikaku no jutsu, Sasuke shouted and exhales and giant fireball toward Kaizen. I burn, stop it, make it stop, Kaizen screamed as the fireball made contact and burned him badly. Sasuke, who was hearing, laughed at the Iwa Genin's fate and his pride swelled when the fire died down to reveal nothing but ash and scorch marks. Ha, that will teach the dope not to challenge the Uchiha clan, Proctor called him. At mean mine, a unknown voice interrupted, making everyone look for where it came from. What the hell is that sound? Hate said looking. Mine. It's getting closer and it sounds an awful lot like him. Mine, the voices said and came from the air, then slammed Sasuke into the ground that is covered in smoke. From the smoke cleared, everyone saw 3 things that shocked them. 1. Sasuke was in the crater gasping for air. 2. The mysterious voice was Kaizen, who was grinning like a madman, and 3. He was unharmed from taking a fireball. Mine. Now almighty elite Uchiha, the ash gray-haired Saiyan said, lifting Sasuke up and started to continuously punching the Uchiha in the gut over and over. Where is your Kami Shinigami or Yami? Now. Where Where? 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 The Saiyan Jinchuriki asked in a mocking tone with a lot of murder in his eyes. Arg Sasuke cried out in pain. Kaizen then dragged Sasuke through the ground into the wall. Hey Yambi-sama, what is it young one? I'm a plant me a Dumbus Kaizen shouted while pulling Sasuke from the wall and throwing him into the ground, sending him on the other side of the arena. Ahahahaha good hahaha and hahahaha Yanbi said in between laughs, not noticing, unlike Kaizen, that Sasuke somehow managed to get on his feet and weaved a few hand signs. Oh, this is gonna be good. Naruto, Kaizen, and Kakashi thought, watching with so much glee, it could make a child green with envy. Sensei, we have to help, that monster is killing Sasuke-kun, Sakura said, pulling Kakashi's arm. Unfortunately Sakura, I can't. If I were to intervene Sasuke could lose his right for the finals, Kakashi told her, which made her back off and go back to watching the fight. Not to mention this is funny, sad and downright too sweet to stop this funk, what they say, and not to mention I get duck ass killed and get 10 million ryo. Yes, please Kami-sama, let the I win this one, he thought, and went back to the fight. Peyton Garyuka no Jutsu, Sasuke shouted and exhaled large stream of fire heading toward the Ashir Saiyan, who went into the fire traveling up to Sasuke and appeared halfway out. Ducks are calling, he said, and punched Sasuke into the wall, then slammed his foot into Sasuke's chest, sending him further into the wall. They want their ass back. Now look at you, wasted and gasping for air, but you don't get to go yet. When your body is destroyed in a pile of ashes, then you have my permission to die, but not yet. Uchiha lead, I won't kill you. I'll let you live to remember that no matter what you do or who you go to, you can never match my power. Only one can, Kaizen said, and started to walk away, but looked back at the Uchiha with his eyes changed. Which shocked most, even Naruto to the core. They saw two Sharingan eyes, but they were different. The background was onyx black, and the tomos and lines were white. Now run. Run and cling to life. And then one day, he said, as his Sharingan morphed into a white flame pattern with a ring, and inside the ring was white razor design and a black dot. When you finally have the same eyes, come and face me, he said, and walked back to the stands. Winner by knockout, Kaizen Kazuki. We need a Medicaid, declared, and watched along with the others as Sasuke was carried out screaming from his broken body. The rest of the fights were the same as the canon, except Naruto on both cheering Hinata and Nechi him, and Kakashi cheering for Ino to kick the howler monkey sent from hell's ass, which others thought was cruel and funked up, but was simply given an answer that shut them up. Look at us any longer and we'll show you despair, then turned back just to see the next match. Naruto Uzumaki of Konoha vs. Kiba Inuzuka of Konoha. Yahoo Akamaru, looks like we got an easy one, Kiba said, and jumped down to the arena looking dead in Naruto's eyes with a smug grin. HMPH, are you here to fight or piss all over the floor? Naruto said. Why you dope, Kiba yelled and charged at Naruto, who only raised his foot and kicked Kiba into his gut, making him fall to his knees holding his stomach. The dog shouldn't bite the hand that feeds him, but then again you're all bark no bite, Inuzuka, Naruto said, and delivered a barrage of punches and soon tries to hit Naruto, only for him to dodge. Hold still, you bastard, Kiba said, still trying to hit the Saiyan Hepika. Bu, Naruto said, as Kiba finally clawed him, only for him to fade and for Kiba to be kicked down to his hands and knees, who looked up only to see Naruto cracking his neck side to side, a smile that scared everyone but Kaizen, who was shaking to death looking at Kiba. Think Kid Bu's smile, while Hess cracking his neck don't. No type Goku and Vegeta vs Kid Bu, and watch when he faces Vegeta, mixed with Madara's rape face. Hyeth red-headed Saiyan grunted as he kicked Kiba hard, sending him flying. As he was flying, Naruto flew under the ground and got behind Kiba, who had recovered and flight, not knowing Naruto came out and kicked him in his back, sending him flying again, but the Saiyan appeared in front of him and headbutted Kiba, making him fall back and cough up blood, then land on the floor of the arena, only for Naruto to kick him in the back of the head and jump away. Kakashi, what have you been training your student this? This is unreal, Kurenai questioned, who couldn't keep her eyes off of her student being demolished. I haven't taught him this. This is all him, the silver-haired Jonin told her, causing her eyes to go wide. Argue. Bastard, Kiba groaned, trying to get up. Naruto only laughed out, enjoying himself as he watched Kiba struggling but walked towards him. You're gonna wish you hadn't done that. What the hell are you laughing at? Kiba questioned, getting irritated only to get Naruto still chuckling, but raised one finger and made Akam at me motion. Gatsuga, Kiba yelled out as he and Akamaru span violently, forming what seemed like a drill coming toward Naruto, which cut him up and charged again, but mixed to fuse a giant one. Until the QB Jinchuriki dodged and kicked both of them in the air, then appear above them and gripped both hands together and slammed it into their stomachs, sending them both into the ground, hard as hell, and caused a mini explosion of cement and dirt. Anyone who was shocked was even more when they saw Naruto land softly, but what shocked us was he was unharmed, not cuts, rips or anything. You freak of nature, you're nothing. But a piece Of shy Kiba started getting up but was stopped when Narukin appeared in front of him and elbowed his gut, then punched him across his face and delivered another barrage of punches and kicks, ending with him getting kicked in the stomach and socked across his face again, then delivered another punch to his stomach and gripped his hair. "Ahehehe, want to know what death tastes like," the red-haired Saiyan said and placed his hand in front of Kiba's face as a crimson-red orb appeared, others thinking it was similar to the fourth Rasengan, but Kakashi Kazin Nikiji Ino and the Hokage knew otherwise, but it was too late to stop him when Naruto blasted Kiba in the face, sending him flying into the ground, making a 6 feet only walk down. And picked up Kiba and Akamaru then said, "So Kiba and dog, why don't you two pray for your life, and like everyone who's prayed to Kami-sama I'll ignore it. This is insane, Kiba can't lay a hit on Narubaka, he has to be cheating," Sakura said. "Now Sakura, that's not fair, how can Naruto be cheating? Did you ever see his progress at all?" Kakashi said, defending Narukin. "It doesn't matter, be that Baka can never be Stro." Sakura started but was hit by a black blur, sending her into the wall behind, making a creator. "You useless banshee, shut the hell up, you're killing my ears with your yelling. Why don't you heal that useless mongrel I sent toward you?" the red-haired Saiyan said, who appeared in front of Sakura, leaving many shocked that he would hurt his own teammate and beat Kiba in under 5 minutes, even thought Kiba didn't get a hit. "Winner by knockout, narrate. My name is not Naruto, my name is Narukin, a Saiyan of planet Vegeta, remember it well." Worms Narukin interrupted and disappeared in a dark void, leaving everyone shocked with only one thing in some people's minds. "We're funked." While everyone was shocked about what happened in the preliminaries and soon word quickly spread that he was back, some screamed in fear and ran to board up their house, while others screamed with excitement that the alien they knew was Narukin was at Training Ground 7, standing in front of 2,000 clones. "Alright, I want you to split into 4 groups of 500. Group 1 work on chakra and elemental manipulation, Group 2 work on new martial arts and taijutsu styles, Group 3 work on kai manipulation, and Group 4 will work on Karamazaki to reach past 7 tails. I want to see progress by the next 5 hours or there will be hell to pay. Now move it, brats," Narukin yells, making them jump and go into their selected groups. And you say I'm a slave driver, kid? This is the definition of a torturous asshole funk. You're more funked up than your Saiyan pods," Training Kurama said, teasing his little brother. "What I'm doing is a watered-down version of my pod training, and you know that. Besides, nothing in the world is that torturous," Narukin said, remembering back when he was young. Flashback no jutsu. The 5-year-old Narukin was currently running away for his life from an angry drunk mob of villagers wielding swords, bats, torches and other sharp objects. "Kill him," one member of the mob said. "At the demon brat," another said. "Avenge yon Daimei Sama." Narukin ran down into a nearby alleyway, hoping the villagers didn't see him as he saw many pass by. Why do they keep attacking? What did I ever do to them to deserve this?" he said, and continued to walk down the alleyway in hopes of escaping. "I found him, he's in the alley, get the demon," another member said, causing everyone to turn back and run after Narukin, who ended up running in the forest. "Damn it, we lost him, let's get out of here before Hokage-sama or Anbu arrive," a random ninja said. Then the mob retreated back to their homes, or the festival for the coast was clear. Narukin jumped from his hideout spot and landed. "I made it, but they'll do it again. I hate this village. I want this damn village to die with everyone in it," Narukin said, walking out until he hit what looks like a sphere in the ground and touched it. Soon a red light moved up and down as if it was scanning him. "Beepizing scan data complete, welcome Narukin-sama," the pod said and opened up, revealing a blinding light that pulled Narukin inside. Time skip 1 day later. Narukin awoke to the sound of beeping and found himself in a familiar room which to him looked like the size of an average home. "Where am I? It feels like I've been here before," he says while looking around. "I believe I can answer that for you, young master," an unknown voice said. Narukin turned around to see what looks like a robotic man. "What the? Who are you?" Narukin asked. "I am combat droid SNT. Torturous. Training." Narukin doesn't need to know that to save trouble. He looks like Cyber Cyrax from Mortal Kombat, the newest and one of the last 2 models for the Saiyan race, the combat droid told him. "What's a Saiyan?" Narukin asked his droid. Questionable answer for you, allow me to explain," the combat droid said. About an hour later the combat droid had explained Narukin's heritage down to how he got on this planet, about another Saiyan on it along with the reasons behind it and who blew up the planet and why this planet fears him and took everything from him. Droids know all. The saying Narukin was happy was like saying Krillin will beat Vegeta. Complete bullshit. "They are the reason I have nothing, they took everything. Kaka Oji Itachi Nai Aruka Nai, Anko ni Yugao Abanakiji-chan Ten-chan Ino-chan and Hina-chan, those bastards," Ra Naruto yelled in rage, causing his kai to explode in a blinding light. As the light died down, it revealed Narukin, only his hair was more spiky and pointed up, along with his 2 bangs that were bent upward, but was replaced with 4 large bangs covering his color changed from red to silver, with red and gold streaks. His eyes turned from purple to teal, and the pupils were gone, and his red aura shot up like a raging fire, but also twisted around him. Naruto-sama, I don't believe it, you have become a Super Saiyan as of the legend, the combat droid stated. It appears so, droid, what will I be doing, Naruto asked. Ah yes, this pod and myself have been given knowledge of various techniques, along with some jutsu of this planet which I gathered to jutsu and martial arts and chakra and kai manipulation. I'll be teaching you over the years. Also, I have made upgrades to the pod where in the bottom room one day will equal to a whole year. It can hold up to, as long as you want, the droid told him. Alright, then we'll spend a total of 4 years inside, understood master. By the time I'm done, you will be able to beat many on this planet but will hate me, so droid started and took out a giant 5-pointed shuriken. Shall we dance? 4 years later. It had been 4 years since Naruto entered the special space, which in there was a total of 1460. The years Naruto had mastered all the jutsu, techniques, taijutsu, martial arts and chakra and kai manipulation. Over the last 6 years Naruto had also talked to the QB, and coming to find out he was a nice guy. If you get to know him and get past the being of demon chakra, able to kill you with one swing of a tail, training Naruto and QB have been bonded to the point of a sibling relation, even to the point where QB told him his name, which is Kurama. Naruto's power had completely skyrocketed beyond what he could believe and was able to maintain his Super Saiyan form by training in it for half of the personally made his own version of heaven with Kurama and even learned a couple of things from the Biju King. Even some Jinchurikis who bonded with their host don't learn the reason the fox attacked. And who sealed him in Naruto, which all the young Saiyan replied was damn fourth, better be lucky as hell he's dead. His appearance had also changed. Our red-haired Saiyan wore a blood-red jumpsuit with a black armor. Also, he was wearing black arm brace and black boots with yellow tips. Think Bardock's but different color. Also, near the end of the training, the combat droid had been able to sneak in both the ruins of Yuzushiogakure, which holds a variety of seals, and had Naruto grinning. Currently Naruto was walked toward the door of his space pod when his droid stopped him. Master, when you leave, what do you want to happen to the ship? Kai asked. The second I step out, bury this ship inside the Kage monument. When time comes, I'll come and collect it to leave this planet. Until then, remember what we talked about last month. Start that project immediately. If goes right, it should be down by the time I return in 6 years, Naruto said and walked out. As you wish, my master, Kai said and went back deeper into the pod. Outside the pod. As per his instructions, the second he walked out, the pod vanished. Naruto finally out, took a time to stretch his legs and arms. Now what to do? Eat. No, train. No, murder him? Not yet. Oh, I know, maybe I can give out a shipments of gallons filled with LS. Naruto said, but was interrupted when he felt something coming. So someone coming. I'll have to stay guard and protect all my vital areas. He soon felt a swift jab to the neck. Oh no, my neck. My most vital area, was his last thought before darkness consumed him. Got you, Gaki, brat. Now we can fulfill the prophecy, an unknown voice said. Flashback. No jutsu. Kai. After training for about 5 hours, the clones had dispelled and sent their memories toward Naruto, who grinned. Excellent, alright Kurama, open it, Naruto said to the Biju King. Right, sacred demon style. Garganta black cavity, Kurama shouted, seeing Naruto get consumed in his Yaki chakra, then watched as it was removed from him and formed what seems like a giant black eye in front of him. Naruto was amazed at his tenant's work until he felt something. You know, Kaizen-san, it's rude and dangerous to spy on people, even if we both are Saiyans, he said, and lazily tossed a Kai blast at a tree, causing it to explode as Kaizen jumped from it. Sup, you tell me, stalker, cause I'm making a lot of assumptions right now, Naruto replied. I'm going to ignore that, Kaizen told him anyway. You. New planet. Take me there. Why? Naruto asked. I hate this world since I was brought to it along with you, and we were sent to different parts in Iowa. I was an orphan. I was abused in almost every possible way because of my tail, reminding them of the Biju, but I was adopted by a man named Rashi, or as you know him, Yoden no Rashi, Rashi of the lava release. He raised me as if I was his own child, and I saw him as a father. When I was 5, we discovered my pod. When I found out who I was thanks to my combat droid, or I call him Nenshim, combustion, I was pissed so much and actually went up to Super Saiyan at the age of 6 and vowed to kill the person who destroyed my family and my planet, but even then with Rashi he was still my father. Then came after my 7th birthday, I had finished my training inside my pod again for the day and exited out with Rashi 2-chan when we were surrounded by Iwan in our own ninja and were knocked out. When I came to, Rashi 2-chan was up and scared. It turns out Rashi 2-chan was accused for murdering those civilians years ago and being past his age for his Biju, the Senin Seru no Yonbi4 tail of the monkey sage. As such, they knocked me out again while they extracted his Biju, effectively killing him in the process, and placed Yonbi-sama in me. When I came to, Yonbi-sama filled in what happened during the extraction, but only remembered parts. When I heard Rashi 2-chan died, I exploded in rage. My power went wild, destroying everything and making the ground rise and break my hair as my Super Saiyan form went. From ash gray to dark red with black streaks but was even spiker and wilder, but pointed in different directions and was parted except for 2 bangs on the side of my eyes, and white lighting surrounded me, think super trunks but different color. I never realized what it was still don't Kaizen explained to Naruto after it was done. I hide my intelligence and my powers and pretended to serve Iwa faithfully until I found the other Saiyan you Naruto-san Kaizen explained. Naruto looked to see if there was any deception. Surprising enough he found none even by reading his heartbeats with his Kai sense. HMPH to the end humans will find ways to keep power in their favor like always and now they use us Biju as a means for said power Kurama said, angry that another one of his kin has been used as nothing but a weapon yet again and more importantly killed his kin. Original host to this Saiyan saw as a father. Hi humans have fallen in this world, but now what to do with him Naruto thought, just take the damn monkey no offense by the way and it will work in the long run plus, you can figure out how to achieve past Super Saiyan, since it appears he did it instinctively besides Watts, one more person added, going to do to ruin it try the other way, especially since he's a Saiyan Kurama explained to his host. Alright then Kaizen you can join me but first we're going to see a little project I had my droid working on for the past 6 years, follow Naruto said closing the Garganta and flew off toward the Hokage monument with Kaizen flying after him. Inside Naruto's pod. As soon as Naruto and Kaizen entered the pod Kaizen was surrounded by blasters knife swords Fuma shurikens and other various weapons, poised to kill him in an instant. Master an intruder has broken into the pod what should I do to dispose of him my lord Kai said, while turning its right arm into a blaster, aiming it at Kaizen's head. Oh this is precious being threatened by a combat droid with last model blasters oh scathing Kaizen mocked Kai, who responded master your orders. Drop all weapons he entered with me, well it would be fun Kai he's with me so down Naruto order, and watched as all weapons were lowered and put away even Kai's blaster all good doggy Kaizen mocked. So why are we in your pod instead of the other planet Naruto he asked. Simple 1 I need to check on a project before we leave and 2 this month just started so we will spend half of it here and the other half on the other planet which as Kurama told me is called Earth Naruto explained, leaving Kaizen looking confused and asked the following questions. Why train half here and who's Kurama oh yeah reasons why Konoha will be looking for me to place a fake they created with a sealed back but my pod won't allow them in, plus I will be able to open the Garganta here as well, and I thought a little spar might work out between us and for the second the QB's name is Kurama, once you get to know him, he's not bad Naruto explained more. Damn right I'm not Kurama yelled through their connection. Still a giant plush toy Kurama he said and turned to Kai I will look at the project as soon as my spar is over with Kaizen, you are to treat him like a Saiyan like me Kai nodded and watched as his master and the other Saiyan entered the special room, then he went back to the lab. Naruto and Kaizen entered the room and soon as they did the setting changed from a white room to a rocky wasteland. So rules. No death Naruto finished and jumped onto a cliff and took his stance while Kaizen jumped to another and took his. Alright start Naruto yelled and rushed to Kaizen and threw a punch only for the ash gray hair Saiyan to jump out of the way and kick him in the face, sending him toward the ground. Naruto then recovered then teleported in front of Kaizen and landed a barrage of punches and kicks to the Iwanin's stomach and face, then jumped behind him while he's dazed and kicked him into the ground, causing a mini explosion. Naruto didn't waste a second and a Kai sphere at the ground hitting the Saiyan making the explosion the smoke cleared, it showed Kaizen standing over the rubble with a smirk on his face. Heh my turn he said and teleport in front of Naruto only for the redhead to grab his leg and spin him around until he let go sending Kaizen into a cliff, destroying it and caving him in. Hey what a shame dropping like a fly and I'm not even trying Naruto said smirking but soon dropped when a white light emerged and the boulders and rocks were blasted and destroyed in different directions to reveal Kaizen stretching his arms. So we done with this workout Yudi replied. Fine then let's go for real Naruto said crossing his arms perfect the ash gray SJ Saiyan Jinchuriki, might as well make a name for it, said and flew off then teleporting again in front of Naruto, who tried to grab him only for Kaizen to be quicker and land a barrage of punches across his face, then double kick him sending him flying, while Kaizen held out one hand as a giant purple and black Kai. Blast appeared with the purple Kai forming a razor disc around the black Kai and called out Razor Blitz and shot the blast heading for Naruto, who soon recovered and dodged the blast. Arg Sanofabich I got you this time he said and flew at Kaizen and tried to knock him down only for a clone to appear and kick him before turning to rocks. Damn I would be USHIN Earth clone Naruto said and teleported along with Kaizen with echoes of punches, kicks and booms, along with flashes be seen heard throughout the field. Aha had to think a Sun's host can be such a capable fighter, I'm surprised you fight for Iwa, even if faking Naruto said to Kaizen dodging and delivering blow after blow. And to think Kurama's host team could be such annoying bitches, I'm surprised you haven't killed them. Sooner Kaizen responded blocking and sending punches, then Kaizen took on the offensive and sent wave after wave of punches toward Naruto, forcing him to block until Kaizen punched Naruto into a cliff, smashing him through a sent a barrage of punches to Naruto's stomach, then kicked him sending him flying while spitting out saliva. Kaizen grunted and punched Naruto in the face followed by powerful axe kick to his ribs. Arg ha 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 ha, this is amazing, I haven't had this much fun in a while, now rahhhhh, the redhead roared as his red kai swirled around him and shot up to reveal his Super Saiyan form. Now take this, he said, then jumped away and cupped his hands, then brought them to his side. Super Kami Naruto chanted as blue energy formed in his hands. Hami. Damn rahhhh, Kaizen shouted as he also went into his Super Saiyan form, which his hair was blood red with black streaks and was divided partway. Think Broly SSJ normal. He brought his hand back in a grabbing position as a green energy with black and white lightning surrounded it. Take this final shine, he said as the energy got bigger and the sky turned black. Ha! Attack, they both screamed and launched their attacks, colliding them in a clash for dominance. I got you, ha, Naruto said, adding more power into the blast, making it go further toward Kaizen. Arg, Keen grunted. I can't lose, I have to use it, he thought. Graya. Ah, Keen screamed as his white kai exploded around like a twister while his hair became longer and more rigid with two bands near his eyes. His muscles grew a bit bulky but not much, and his tail was trashing around violently, and white lightning sparked around him, and his eyes became pupilless. Sorry to hold back, but this is my full power, now take this. Heiya, Kaizen spoke and put more power into his blast, forcing it to move toward Naruto until it exploded. Naruto didn't waste a beat, though he soon found himself in front of Kaizen and delivered a powerful punch to his face, only to get the Saiyan smiling and have him elbow Naruto in the back, then grabbed his arm and tossed him into the air and formed hand signs. Pain. Morukiku no Jutsu fire style. Blazing kick jutsu, Kaizen said as his foot was surrounded by light green flames, then jumped in the air and kicked Naruto dead center into his stomach, causing him to crash into the ground, leaving a crater and have 2-degree burns. Alright then, Naruto said and formed his own hand signs as his eyes turned red. Enten Kyuuden no Jutsu, Inferno-style flame dragon jutsu, he said as black flames emerged from the ground and formed a serpentine dragon with wide eyes and targeted Kaizen. Yoten. Jingoku Handu Nero no Jutsu lava style. Hellhound simmer jutsu, Kaizen roared and spewed lava from his mouth, morphing it into a large hell dog and clashed with the dragon. This is a Kaizen, I put all my power into this attack, now perish, Naruto said. Argyoton lava style, Kaizen said, forming one-handed hand signs. Nuo. Naruto. SHAKUGARYUUGA and scorching rocks, Kaizen. No Naruto. No jutsu, Kaizen finished to spewed out multiple molten rocks at Naruto. No. Phew, Naruto shouted as he was hit and sent flying, dispelling the dragon and hellhound. Spar ended, returning back to original setting. Kaizen heard the machine say as the room was transformed back to the white space. Freaky, he said and looked ahead to see Naruto landing in front of him from flying back. So Sun Sama's theory was right by saying Kurama created the Sharingan, Kaizen said, looking into Naruto's eyes, revealing a red Sharingan with 3 black tomos. Hi, but that leaves my question, how do you have one in Mangekyo, and how is the color different? Naruto asked and listened as Kaizen explained about chakra being grabbed by chakra and how without notice, Kurama was spewing large amounts of chakra, which everyone though was his or Kaizen's anyway, due to the chakra being all over the place. Sun had gathered it up and fused it with his own, but causing the chakra to fuse with his cells, creating a Sharingan for him. As for the color, since it was fused with Sun's, morphed the color and made it evolve into the Mangekyo, but the side effects for blindness remain. Ha. That's what that monkey gets for trying to take my ability, Kurama said to Naruto. True, but not the point, Naruto thought. Fine, funk it, if you use your Mangekyo and switch with his, it will fix his blindness and yours in the future, as long as this shit doesn't use it to control my kind like those Uchibakas, Kurama said. Kurama said we can switch eyes when both of our eyes with each other when we suffer the blindness effect, Naruto explained, which Kaizen nodded in response. Now come on, I have to check on a project, then we will leave, Naruto said and walked toward the lab with Kaizen following. A month later. The finals for the Chunin exams have finally come. Everyone from the village came in to watch and gamble and see the so-called demon child die. In the Kage booth sat Hiruzen Sarutobi waiting for the other Kage to arrive, which after 5 minutes they soon came. The Kazika Ga Irachi Pito and 2 sand guards, the Tsuchika Inoki, along with the Gobi Jinchuriki Han and his granddaughter Kuritsuchi, and finally the Raikage, along with his 2 guard, the Hachibi Jinchuriki Karabi and the Nibi Jinchuriki Ujido Nai. Well, it's nice to see you all again, Kazekage Dano, Tsuchikage Dano, and Raikage Dano, Hiruzen said, smiling at the others who have taken their chairs. I'm surprised you're still up and running, Hokage Dano, though I do believe you and Inoki should retire. Frosty the snow rapist in disguise spoke. I agree with Kazekage Dano, you both should have passed ahhhh already, but that can wait till after the exams. So Saratobi, who do you think will win? I said with a grin. Personally I have promise on Naruto Uzumaki and Kaizen Kazuki from Iwa. Hiruzen spoke. I see it doesn't matter though, my son Gaara will beat everyone without hesitation or the slightest remorse. The Kazekage spoke. Yujito was looking at the Kazekage from behind, glaring, knowing something was not right about him. Karabi was focusing on Hans, who couldn't be any wiser as he was focusing on the stadium, looking around. Kaizen, don't give this old shit any ideas, I already lost my best friend to him, I don't want to lose you, my nephew too, he thought. That we shall see which number is the best, Konoha, Iwa or Suna, Inoki said with a grin, making the other Kages grow wide eyes. Well, he then looked around and thought. Where is that weapon of mine? If he is with the enemy, I will execute him and place the Yonbi in a more loyal host. Now where is he? HMPH, we shall see. Old Fansidere had spoken, turned his attention to the stadium, as it seems things were about to begin. Down below currently the contestants were lined up and waiting. Well, all but Naruto, Kaizen and Dosua Jonin with a senbon in mouth came up and spoke. Welcome all to the Chunin exam finals, he said, adding chakra to his voice for everyone to hear, making the crowd roar in applause and excitement. Since Dosu Kinta has decided to drop out of the tournament, he will be replaced by someone who wished to participate. Sasuke Uchiha of Konohagakure, he yelled at the end, making the crowd roar louder in their eyes, that the kami on earth can participate, despite being removed by the Iwagini and more like emo bitch on earth. Alright, my name is Genma, I will be the proctor for the finals, so there is going to be a change to the matches, so look closely cause I will only show this once, Genma said, taking out a piece of paper and showing them. Alright, will everyone but Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha please head to the stands, he said, and watch as everyone but Sasuke leave the field. Naruto Uzumaki, you have 2 minutes before you are disqualified, Genma said. That dope is scared to face me, and Uchiha let Sasuke started but stopped as the sky darkened and a haunting sound rang in the air. Clouds filled the sky as what seems like a bell being rung filled everyone's ears. 2 images appeared. One was a giant swirl which very few saw on the back of Chunin's, Jonin's and Naruto. This was the Uzumaki symbol, but this had the Uchiha crest inside, with a design of a gust of wind, but the other was different. It looked like an Uchiha's crest, but the color was off. Where there was supposed to be red was white, and the white was black with 2 gray dots on the outside was a large white crescent. Moon. Soon a lightning strike shot through the sky as the tempo grew faster, and a voice sounding dark yet sorrowful sang out. You're broken, so am I. I'm better off alone. No one to turn to. And nothing to call my own. Outspoken, so am I. Explosive words that your world wouldn't understand. Turn away again. You're beaten, so am I. I've got a heart of stone. No medication can draw what has taken hold. You're hurting, so am I. When I awaken, remember why. I've been running from your world. Dishonored by your world. Your world. I'm haunted by your world. Many of the crowd started to rock to the song, except for a selective few. Hinata Nekji doesn't almost kill Hinata, just closes her points, making her unable to move. Ino Ten Gaara Kakashi Anko Yugao Hiruzen knew differently, but as soon as those words hit the ears of Karabi, he knew those words from how he felt before becoming Kumo's hero. My blood is cold as ice. Or so I have been told. Show no emotion. And it can destroy your soul. Another sacrifice. To a tormentor your world wouldn't understand. Turn away again. You're angered, so am I. 1,000 fires burn. The land of darkness. From which I cannot return. You're aching, so am I. When I awaken, discover that I've been damaged by your world. Dishonored by your world. Your world. I'm haunted by your world. Yujito and Han knew those words, it's how they feel to this day in their village, the villages they swore their lives to. Their hearts seeped as this song playing, knowing it's how they felt. They will never belong anywhere. Never will I be welcomed amongst the heartless monsters you surround yourself with. Feeding off the pain and misfortune of others. A maniacal unit of subhuman parasites. Warped into a feeding frenzy with the smell of fresh blood. Open your eyes and see the creatures for what they are. A swirling mess of hatred and envy. Don't be naive enough to think you're unaffected. The conversion has already begun. You're frightened, so am I. The world of demons wait. Watching the movements and filling my heart with hate. You're burning, so will I. When I awake and discover how I have been ravaged by your world. Dishonored by your world. Your world. I'm haunted by your world. As the song ended, two tornadoes erupted from the ground. The one on the left was cawing, while the one on the right was screeching. To civilians they looked like normal tornadoes, but as the ninjas from their villages looked closely, they had seen the one of the left was a tornado of crows and ravens, while the one on the left, as they had seen in shock, was a tornado of tornadoes soon merged, mixing. As they seen two dark figures who swiped their arms across the tornado, causing the animals to break from the tornado and reveal Naruto and Kaizen. Everyone was shocked to see Naruto and Kaizen standing next to each other, with the raven and crows behind Naruto and the bats behind Kaizen. Hell at Hell's Gate open. Everyone was shocked to see both ravens, crows and bats come from the ground, but more surprised that the ravens and crows came from Naruto the demon brat, and the bats came from the Iwanin, who in their eyes beat their kami. Best to say they were outraged that the demon was showing up at Uchiha-sama and making friends with their hated enemies. Well, seems we made some enemies already, Naruto. Kaizen said, grinning at the red blonde and black hair. Saiyan Kaizen was wearing a dark red collar shirt with black flame markings, black anbu pants, along with a black cloak with white lightning. Think of Sasuke's Akatsuki cloak, but different, and a strange dull grey mask with black eye shades, and what looks like 3 laser pointers on the side also. There were spikes on the sides at the top of the mask, along with strange markings wolf predator mask, and blood red steel toe boots. Who cares, they're all pathetic weaklings who can't even dance right, Naruto replied, ignoring the crowd. Naruto was wearing a dark red scarf that covered up to his nose and down his neck. He wore a black sleeveless body shirt with a tan sleeve and a black band as well. As 2 other black bands on his upper arm and a brace on his left arm, while his right hand was covered in bandages. He is wearing black baggy pants with a red sash and 5 black and grey spiked pendulums hanging from his sash and scarf, and white combat boots. Just in time. Naruto-san, are you ready? Genma asked him, making Kaizen want to look at the redhead's opponent. What the hell, I beat this social pathetic waste of life. How is he here? Kaizen yelled, glaring, though no one could see it but can tell it, both the bitch and Genma. Since Dosu Kanuta of the Sound Quitter has been killed, the civilian council went behind the Hokage's back and placed Emo Prince over there, and Genma whispered to him. HMPH, I'm here because your victory never counted, you Iowa piece of shit. Now leave, so I can kill this wannabe shinobi, then have my revenge on you, Sasuke said with a smirk, making Kaizen glare, but leave the stadium after saying a few little words to the brat. When you get to hell, I'm sure your daddy will love to see his funk toy again, and I don't mean your mom or clan. Hey, what me and him did is private, he said, making everyone gasp and laugh. Why, you little what the hell do you freaks know? You both are probably parentless losers whose fathers killed themselves, well, your mothers abandoned you because she knew you would be like your father's waste of living space, whose only use is being a horse, Sasuke replied, glaring at both of them, which made Kaizen stop moving and him and Naruto lower their heads. Almost everyone saw this while the civilians were laughing at the Saiyans feel as if they deserve it. Han Kakashi Karabi Ujito, Hirazune Anko Yugao Ino Nekji Hinata Ten Inoki, and even Gaara were either angry at his statement or scared of what's to come. Han quickly jumped down and grabbed Kaizen, who was about to rush at the Uchiha way, leaving only Naruto and Sasuke in the stadium. Alright, begin, Genma shouted from the stands. Let's go dope. After this match I will have all your Tekkenukes, and maybe I'll tell the council to give me those girls who are so fond of you to rebuild the Uchiha clan and funk them in front of you, Sasuke said, grinding more, and charged at Naruto and punched him in the chest, thinking he could send him flying, only for Naruto to just stand there. Sasuke proceeded to deliver more punches to Naruto's chest and face, only for the blonde Saiyan not to even move but smile at the Uchiha, though no one can see. They can tell by his eyes that the smile makes Jeff the Killer green with envy. So this little shit has balls, huh? Let's see if you can keep them, dog, Naruto said, and punched Sasuke in the face, sending him flying. HMPH, rape them in front of me, steal my technique, ha, a dog, no, a maggot, no trash like you needs to just die and never return, so I will destroy you until nothing is left, he said, and vanished in front of Sasuke and delivered a strong jab to the Uchiha's stomach, making him cough up. Soon grabbed him by the throat. You know, I seen this once and now I want to try it, Naruto said, and tossed Sasuke, then jumped in the air, reaching above Sasuke as a large silver skeleton arm and hand appeared and made a chop motion. Reaper. Chop, Naruto yelled, using Kurama's voice to sound more menacing, and slammed a hand into Sasuke's head, sending him into the ground, and the arm faded as no one could see it from that height, so they assumed it was his regular hand. The crowd was shocked to see the Uchiha boy getting beaten by the demon brat, except a few selective who were in joy at seeing the spoiled brat getting put in his place yet again for going to land it gracefully, and walked over to Sasuke inside of a crater he made and waited for the boy to respond. Arg, you bastard, I am an Uchiha elite, the best class, you mongrel, you have no right, the Uchiha heir said, getting up and making a few swift hand signs. Kaiten. Hausenka no Jutsu, fire style. For Sage Flower Jutsu Sasuke shouted and launched 12 small fireballs at Naruto, who did his own hand sign a familiar horse seal that a certain Hokage and Tsuchikage, known all too well. Kage Booth. Hokage Dono the Gaki can use her jutsu, Inoki said in disbelief, looking back at both the Hokage and the stadium. It appears so, Tsuchikage Dono, though I don't know how. Sarutobi Hiruzen said, staring at the stadium. Hayden Naruto shouted, making some look in confusion. Except for the two Kages, even Sasuke was confused, but soon broke out in a grin when his fireballs were only inches away from Naruto. Okay, he said and took a deep breath, making others Jonin and some Chunin and Anbu realize what jutsu it was. Even Sakura, hey, book smarts, so why not know what it is? Don't hate, you all will love what happens. Sasuke-kun, get out of there, that move belongs to Uchiha Madara. Mekiaku fire style. Majestic Flames Destroyer, Naruto shouted and released a large torrent of flames, effectively absorbing Sasuke's small flames, and head straight for him. Sasuke-kun, move, Sakura yelled, only for her cries to fall on deaf ears as the Uchiha was too scared to move, while some, Kakashi Anko Yugao Ino Nekji Hinata 1010, and the 10 minutes ago returned Kaizen, were thinking a song in their heads, and I will always love you. I will always love you, while imagining a mini them hugging the emo's tombstone with tears of joy and PRIDEO happy day. Sasuke could only watch as the flames moved closer, as his fear of death had blocked out any voices from contacting him, only able to hear his own thoughts. Come on Sasuke, move or you'll die, move. He thought and quickly took out a kunai and stabbed his leg, allowing him to move again, then jumped to the side of the wall above the flames. As they hit this, the ones who imagined hugging his tomb with joy and pride cried inside as their imagination came up as the emo rose from the grave, sticking his tongue at them. As soon as the flames died down, Sasuke glared at a smirking Naruto. So you unlocked your matured state, huh, pansy bitch, Naruto said with a grin, then closed his eyes. However, it appears now I can show you how futile your eyes are in comparison, he said, and snapped open his eyes, revealing his 3 Tomo Sharingan. But unlike a month ago, the color is different. The main color had gone from crimson red to now golden yellow, while the Tomos are still black, though those with true blessed eyes. Seeing this, Sasuke's anger had skyrocketed. How dare this dope, how dare he take what belongs to the Uchiha clan first, that I would trash now the dope, I'll kill them, he thought, and went through a couple of hand signs. Dope, I will kill you, you will not take what belongs to the Uchiha, do you understand me? I will kill you, Chidori, Sasuke said, and ran down the wall with what seems to be a ball of lightning, as the sound was giving off 1,000 birds chirping at once, and rushed at Naruto, who went through his own hand signs and copied Sasuke's motion, only instead of blue lightning, it was a mixture of vibrant purple lightning and dark red energy. Phantomu no Chidori, phantom of 1,000 birds, he said, and rushed at Sasuke and clashed his attack with the emo prince. Both assassination moves clashed for dominance and eventually exploded, causing Sasuke to fly toward the wall and Naruto to be pushed back several feet. Arghhh, I'll kill you, you worthless trash, you don't deserve those, Sasuke started until Naruto appeared in front of him and hit the douche with a barrage of punches and kicks to both his stomach and face. You are weak, Uchiha, you deserve to have no parents, no one to love, and all you are pathetic of shit, willing to give up his soul for power, if need be. Now heel, trash, Naruto said, and kicked Sasuke in the head and knocked him out. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki, Genma said, which Naruto grunted and walked to the stands until 2 Anbu appear before him. Uzumaki and Kazuki, you are wanted to a meeting with the council, the Anbu with the eagle mask said, getting nod from them, and vanished in a shushin as the next fight began. Council room. Naruto and Kaizen had soon appeared in the council room, along with the Hokage Tsuchikage, who was glaring at Kaizen the Raikage, and the pedo of the little boys, I mean Orochimaru, disguised as the Kazekage. On what grounds does the council have for calling a meeting during the Chunin exams? Hiruzen spoke, glaring at the civilian side of the council. We would like to know why has the demo. One civilian merchant spoke before he was killed by a random Anbu who returns to the shadow. We would like to know why has this boy appeared in the finals with the Iwan in as well as disgrace Uchiha-sama and not tell him his techniques. Furthermore, we demand that Ino Yamanaka Nekji Hyuga Hinata Hyuga Ten Hiroshi, Anko Midatrashi and Yugao Yuzuki be used to revive the Uchiha clan for Uchiha-sama, Seiwi Haruno said, finishing what the last civilian finished. No, and by no I mean hell no, Naruto said to them. Hush boy, you will listen, another civilian said until he was grabbed by Naruto as his Sharingan glowed to life. You seen what I did to that spineless waste of sperm, and I was playing even if I claimed I will kill him. Now imagine what will happen when I am serious, you beep less coward, he said as a red Kai blast formed in his hand. Now all of you will listen here, I and Kaizen will not be controlled if tried, this world will die by our hand, if you can't live with it then puss out like a bitch and kill yourself, Naruto said and vanished along with Kaizen in a shushin. Just as they did, a loud explosion was heard throughout the village, along with a giant smoke cloud. The invasion has begun. Naruto and Kaizen were sitting on top of the Hokage monument, watching the carnage play about with smirks on there, and Guy were facing the ninja in the stadium, while Jiraiya was facing the snake Pedos 3-headed snake the third Tsuchikage, and Orochimaru were versing Hiruzen and I, while Han Karabi and Yujito facing off, though it seems Hans was going against his will and was using a sloppy style on purpose. HMPH the Ichibi is pouring more chakra. I got dibs. Naruto, you go wake up her and fetch the others, then we will leave, Kaizen said, jumped down and flew toward Gaara and Sasuke while whistling a tune. HM damn, I wanted the Ichibi. Oh well, Naruto said and flew toward a familiar casino town. Sasuke was on his last leg. He looked across him to see Gaara. As the battle had went on, Gaara had become more and more deformed as his sand was forming a weird sort of armor around him, making him look more demonic-like. Though his gourd was gone, he was still able to use his sand attacks and was able to extend his arm to attack him along with his tail and move faster than he ever did before. Sasuke threw a few kunais to distract Gaara, only for the redhead to brush them away with his arm, but gave enough time for Sasuke to finish his hand signs. Pain. Ryuka no Jutsu, fire-style dragon flame technique. He shouted and blew out a dragon head of flames and sent toward Gaara and hit the flames, were either melting the sand or turning it to glass. All Gaara did was laugh it off until he swiped his arm, sending the flaming sand bits at the Uchiha while he created a new arm. Should, Sasuke said and jumped out of the way. As he tried to get up, he realized his body was heavier and felt the curse mark activate. Damn it, I can't move, I can't die, I have to kill him, Sasuke said and closed his eyes as Gaara had jumped toward him ready to kill the douche. Gaara was a few feet away when he stopped after hearing what sounded like a violin started to look around as the tempo grew and a voice beepy yet sinister spoke. First person who gets who this song is by gets to design a new move for Naruto or combo move for both Naruto and Kaizen. When the devil is too busy. And death's a bit too much. They call on me by name, you see. For my special touch. To the gentlemen I'm misfortune. To the ladies I'm surprise. But call me by any name. Anyway, it's all the same. As the song played, two Kai blast shot and blew off Gaara's tail and arm. Arghhhh, show yourself, you coward, he said. Gaara-chan, don't get all pissy, Kaizen said, disguising his voice while playing with his prey of sorts, and continued. I'm the fly in your soup. I'm the pebble in your shoe. I'm the pea beneath your bed. I'm a bump on every head. I'm the peel on which you slip. I'm a pin in every hip. I'm the thorn in your side. Makes you wriggle and writhe. And it's so easy when you're evil. This is the life, you see. The devil tips his hat to me. I do it all because I'm evil. And I do it all for free. Your tears are all the pay I'll ever need. How does feel, Gaara, to be hurt and cornered like a scarred rat like everyone you killed? Tell me, does it hurt? Kaizen said and made a few hand signs. Komori Hijutsu Kakuanjo no Jutsu, he said as a large swarm of bats toward Gaara, both blinding and cutting him. Well, there's children to make sad. Well, there's candy to be had. Well, there's pockets left to pick. Well, there's grannies left to trip down the stairs. I'll be there, I'll be waiting round the corner. It's a game, I'm glad I'm in it. Pause, there's one born every minute. And it's so easy when you're evil. This is the life, you see. The devil tips his hat to me. I do it all because I'm evil. And I do it all for free. Your tears are all the pay I'll ever need. I pledge my allegiance to all things dark. And I promise on my damn soul. To do as I am told, Lord Beelzebub. Has never seen a soldier quite like me. Not only does his job, but does it happily. I'm the fear that keeps you awake. I'm the shadows on the wall. I'm the monsters they become. I'm the nightmare in your skull. I'm a dagger in your back. An extra turn on the rack. I'm the quivering of your heart. A stabbing pain, a sudden start. And it's so easy when you're evil. This is the life, you see. The devil tips his hat to me. I do it all because I'm evil. And I do it all for free. Your tears are all the pay I'll ever need. And I do it all for free. Your tears are all the pay I'll ever need. And I do it all for free. Your tears are all the pay I'll ever need. Gaara finally had enough and swiped away the bats, leaving him with many wounds and cuts. Come out here now. It gets so lonely being evil. What I'd do to see a smile. Even for a little while. And no one loves you when you're evil. Kaizen said and walked toward Gaara as the music was still playing. As Gaara could see was a small tear coming from Kaizen. What's wrong? Tired of being evil, scarred of dying? Gaara mocked, only to get a demonic smile from Kaizen as his eyes turned black and he spoke. I'm lying though, my teeth. Your tears are all the company I need. Kaizen finished as the song ended and blasted Gaara in the face, sending him through 10 trees. Alright you. Uchiha. Explain, Kaizen said, only for the Uchiha to grunt and say funk off. Fine, go funk off then, Kaizen said and kicked Sasuke toward the group of genin who came after him. Leave or die all of you, Kaizen yelled toward them, making all turn and run lest they fear of Kaizen rage. Alright, this funker is spewing out more of that batshit insane raccoon dog son, Kaizen thought as he felt more of Shikaku power pour out. You don't have enough chakra for a Susanoo Amaterasu won't work thanks to that damn avatar animal wannabe instant sand replacing you can't summon anything powerful or big enough to face him, and thanks to this seal you can't summon me son said, weighing out options causing Kaizen to go wide eyes. Wait, what about that move from the Madamaries which combustion placed in during the 8th month? Kaizen said. Yes, it could work well, then let's give it a shot, Sen said. Play phenomenon by 1000-foot crush. Gaara soon returned as the sand covered all but his feet and was grinning like a child on Christmas. That's it, come on, make me feel Aliva shouted until he was blinded by a white light, only seeing 4 index fingers connect and hear this. Ha. Ha. The Alrid unknown figure said, giving a mixture of 2 voices. So Sarutobi-sensei, how does it feel to fight against 2 legends as well as your teachers? Orochimaru said, licking his lips, and placed 2 kunais with seal tags in the Kage's heads. We're alive again, Hashirama the Shodaime Hokage spoke, looking at his body. Yes, it appears to be my Ito Tensei no Jutsu, so we are used as pawns. Hot Aburama the Nidaime Hokage spoke. Orochimaru smirked and spoke, alright, kill those TW Hashirama Taburama. An unknown voice interrupted, but not unknown to the Senju brothers, who went pale with fear. Take us back, take us the funk back, Upito now, Hashirama yelled, shaking Orochimaru, who commanded him to let go. Who is coming, he asked. I don't how she is here, but release us now please, I beg of you, nothing good can come from this. Taburama yelled as he shaked Orochimaru's neck, ailing with Hashirama, again causing the other Kages to sweat drop. The funk is coming, Orochimaru yelled. You don't get it, do you, Hashirama? Hide, it's the end of the world, we are so funked. I told you Kami wanted to make us his bitch, Taburama, I told you, Hashirama yelled, running in circles with Taburama. Oh boy, he heard a familiar feminine voice sing and turned to see her in all of her glory. Funk, they both yelled and stared. Madara Uchiha had joined the battle. HMHMH, shall we dance, boys, she said. So boys, shall we dance, Madara said, removing her gunbai from her back and holding it in her hand. Madara-chan, how are you here? Taburama asked. Oh, you know, classic alien teen restores you to your younger years, then you fall in love with him along with 4 others and fight against your ex-boyfriend and his brother for him, Tobi Baka. Now let's go, Madara said and walked toward the Hashirama, who paled as she came closer, unlike Taburama, who glared at her. What do you mean you love another ex? He said. Simple, when your old one cheats on you with a Yuki clan member and act like nothing happened. Now dance, pig, she said, as a blue rib cage and skeletal arm and hand appeared and flung a blue shuriken-like design on a circular thread that resembles the sharingan. Yasuke, she shouted and watched as Hashirama made a few hand signs, then wood tentacles uproot from the ground and bat the shuriken away, and he turned to Taburama. You just had to cheat, you bastard, Hashirama shouted, but turned back to notice Madara in front of him and punched him into the barrier, causing the first Hokage to burn. HMPH, is this all you have, Hashirama? Your weakness is a sin, Madara said before spinning to the side, avoiding the water dragon that had came from the air and crashed into the landed on the ground gracefully. Madara-chan, you're not as strong as I remember, maybe I was wise to cheat, Taburama said, making Hashirama Sarutobi Ohnoki. I know he's on Orochimaru's side, but let's face it, you know you would to Orochimaru, more than he is now with his Casper-looking self, and I pale. That's a killing you both, she said and made a tiger sign. Kaiten Gauka Misitsu. Madara exhaled a huge blast of fire at Taburama and Hashirama. Both brothers' eyes widened and went through hand signs. Suiton. Bikusui Sashoha. Doten. Doryuheki, they said as Taburama shot out a giant torrent of water to counter the Kaiten, and Hashirama made a giant wall of earth to block the excess flames. The 3 jutsus collided and a huge blast of steam with pieces of earth inside enshrouded the 3. Madara used this distraction to suppress her chakra and charge at a smug look until a certain woman appeared on the side. He turned quick and was met with a hard kick to his beep. Taburama cried and went down, holding on to the last of his manhood. Hashirama tried to sneak up on her only to get hit by a brown, but Madara and Sarutobi were surprised and curious by what hit Hashirama, only to see a monkey tail attached to Madara swinging wildly. I'm back, bitches, a male voice said as a figure crashed into the ground inside of the barrier. Gaara stared at the new figure in front of him. The person had ash-gray spiky hair with red streaks and a spiky bang covering one, wore a black vest with red trim and a gray muscle shirt, along with white baggy pants and black martial arts shoes. He also wore light red wristbands, a biomask with ancient markings on its head around his left hip, and a small blood red gourd on his right. Man had opened his eyes to reveal a pair of black with 3 white tomo, sharingans, and swinging behind was a ash-gray Saiyan tail with red streaks. Alright, come at me, you avatar, one of the figure said, making a come here, charged at the figure and clawed him only for him to vanish. Oops, you missed. Hey Gaara, what do call a Kaizen and a Son Goku? Suzaku sounds alright, HMPH, Suzaku said and appeared in front of Gaara and kicked him across his face, sending the Ichibi post boy through 5 trees. Sasuke smirked and did a series of punches and kicks in the air. "Would you look at me, I'm setting records," he said, and continued punching and kicking. I was worried at first about the two of us sharing a body, but it seemed that things all worked out," he said, smirking. Gaara looked for a bit at him before lowering his arms. He dropped his guard, Baka Sasuke thought, and swiped his hand as razor-sharp winds cut off Gaara's sand arm, which grew back. "Sorry Gaara-chan, did I get you at a bad time?" Sasuke said. "I guess this is okay, mother will have your blood and I will prove my existence," Gaara smiling. "Hehe," Sasuke chuckled. "Yoo-hoo," Sasuke said, mocking Gaara, making the Bijuu post boy pissed. "Cut that out," Gaara yelled and charged at Sasuke and threw a punch only for Sasuke to jump over him and dive bomb, kicking him in the face, then kicks him in the stomach and sending him into the ground, only for Gaara to recover and land on a tree. Gaara then jumped from the tree and hit Sasuke in the stomach and delivered a barrage of punches and kicks to his face, then jumped behind and kicks him in the back, sending into the ground, causing an explosion. "Sand shuriken," Gaara shouted and swung his arms as small four-sided shurikens hit where Sasuke is, causing a bigger explosion. As the smoke cleared it showed Sasuke stand up smirking at Gaara with not a scratch on him. HM, thanks, I needed that. Do you think you can get my back now? Sorry, but the body is kinda new. Never mind, the fusion Saiyan, Bijuu said, and teleported in front of Gaara and sent a barrage of punches to Gaara's face that kicks him in his stomach into the air, then holded his hand out as what seems like ash rise from the red gourd. "Hayden. Haryuden, no jutsu ash style. Ash dragon projectile," Sasuke said as the ash turned into a serpentine dragon with black piercing eyes and hit Gaara. "I wouldn't breath that in. My Hayden is mixed with volcanic smoke, along with the ashes of the dead buried deep in the ground, so unless Raccoon shit in there will be willing to help you breathe, then bye-bye psycho," Sasuke said, smirking, but his smirk left as quick as it came when he felt a rise in Gaara's Yokai chakra and watched his sand form Shukaku. "Playing possum jutsu," he heard Gaara said, and watched as his body went limp and the beast eyes glowed. It was golden with a four-side black shuriken and four small dots around the shuriken. "Yahoo, I'm finally free," Shukaku roared to the heavens and looked at Sasuke with ash moving around. "Would you look at that? I see someone I want to kill." "Oh yeah, hey I," Sasuke said and started to power up as his hair turned dark red with black streaks and spiked up and divided down the middle. Expect two bangs and white lightning swirling around. The ground has risen and broke apart as Sasuke power increased and his sharingan changed as it had a small orange slit pupil into them. His tail had three bones coming out halfway and his canines had stretched down to his lower teeth. "Hey ya," Sasuke roared as his kai spiked and blinded Shukaku. "Ah, you piece of shit, Futen. Renkuden," Shukaku said, then launched a giant blast made of pressurized air toward the source of the light. Madara slowly strutted toward the Senju brothers who were collapsed on the ground. "She keeps kicking me in the beep," Tobirama said to Hashirama, his voice both high and in pain. "Why? Why does she keep kicking me in the beep?" "Because you cheated on her and broke the treaty between Uchiha and Senju, you beep bastard," Hashirama commented, glaring at Tobirama. "Enough talking," Madara said and then disappeared and reappeared in front of the brothers and gripped them up with her Susanu's arm. "Tobirama, you betrayed me, and if I could I would have you tortured for years in the Shinigami's stomach, but since I can't, Amaterasu," Madara said and watched as the black flames burned Tobirama until there was nothing but ash, then turned to Hashirama. "It was good seeing you again, Hashibaka, and next time let's go all out," she said, and he smiled but was jerked toward her quickly and met with her deadly glare, she said, and he nodded quickly. But Madara then did a few hand signs and Hashirama's body crumbled to dust, but instead of the soul rising it had entered Madara's stomach and a seal matrix was created on her stomach, link in profile but could not be seen under the armor. "Beautiful, Madara," Haim Narukin said and kissed her on her lips, which she happily returned. Now currently speaking, Inoki Narukin started and activated his Sharingan. "How funked are you?" Inoki growled at the Saiyan Jinchuriki and flew into the air and clapped his hands together. "What, Inoki, the fence-sitter is going to fight me? What was Sakura busy? Come on with your power level. You're no god. You're no Jinchuriki. And you're certainly no Super Saiyan, you're just human," Narukin mocked, causing Inoki to growl more. "Yeah, well, you know what? Funk. Power levels. Funk Super Saiyans. And funk you, Jinten. Genkai Hakuri no Jutsu," Inoki yelled as his particle-style cube went straight for Narukin and Madara and entrapped them. "In my defense, perfect Tien moment. Now die," Inoki shouted as the cube glowed then imploded. "Ha ha 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 ha, I did it, I killed the QB Jinchuriki, and that bitch," Inoki laughed and not noticed, unlike the other two Kage and Orochimaru, that both are standing behind him forming hand signs until both had jerked their heads up and disappeared in crows and ravens. This caused the three to look confused until they just shrugged and continued to fight. Play disturbed inside the fire. Music starts. "Ooh, Devon. Won't go to heaven. She's just another lost soul. About to be mine again. Leave her, we will receive her." As the bullet came closer, the light had fully died, showing a now Super Saiyan Suzaku, who smacked the wind bullet away like it was nothing and looked at Shukaku with a smug face. "Heck, call me Super Suzaku," he said, and jumped onto the tallest tree, looking Shukaku dead in the eyes. "Use Gaara's body again or make a clone for you to use, either is fine and won't slow you down, or does Suzaku have to slap a hoe to get my message?" Super Suzaku said with his arms now crossed, and watched as Shukaku grinned and allowed himself to return to Gaara, but was clearly fully in control. "Bring it, bitch. It is beyond your control. Will you ever meet again?" Evan, no longer living. Who has been rendered unwhole as a little child. She was taken and then forsaken. You will remember it all, let it blow your mind again. Both didn't make a move, staring into each other's eyes, ready to move when the other does, both filled with a primal urge to fight. Evan lies beyond this portal. Take the word of one immortal. The wind blew fiercely, and both fighters jumped from the trees and fought in barrages of punches and kicks, which to Jonin and lower ranks would only see flashes, blurs and echoes. Suzaku kicked Shukaku in the stomach and grabbed his face and knees him in the face, sending him back a bit, only for the demon to recover and grab Suzaku hairs and punch him across his face. Suzaku kneed Shukaku in the stomach, forcing the demon to loosen his grip, and was sent back by a purple Kai blast. "Give your soul to me for eternity. Release your life to begin another time with her. End your grief with me. There's another way. Release your life. Take your place inside the fire with her." Shukaku recovered quickly and tried to elbow Suzaku, only to get kneed in the side of the then shot. Several Kai blasts. Shukaku soon saw the Kai orbs heading for him and took a deep breath and let it out, causing a howl, making the Kai blast unstable, and without knowing subconsciously activated his Mangekyo form as Shukaku appeared behind and punched him into the ground, causing it to explode. The Sand Tanuki started to grin until the smoke cleared to reveal Suzaku surrounded by grey ribs with a red outline. "Sever now and forever. You're just another lost soul. About to be mine again. See her, you'll never free her. You must surrender it all and give your life to me again." Susanoo Suzaku said as the ribs grow and skeletal arms soon came hold what looks like dual prismaskanas, link in profile. Suzaku jumped from the ground and tried to cleave the Biju in half, only for him to dodge the blades, cutting the tree instead. Mutant Atapa Shukaku yelled and sent a large blast of wind at Suzaku, hoping to throw him off. Instead, the Saiyan Biju just eyes grew wide and vanished. Shukaku sensed something and turned around, only to get hit by Susanoo's skeletal fist, sending the raccoon into the ground as Suzaku ended his Susanoo and clutched his right eye and his sharingan deactivated. "Hyrule, you desire." As she begins to run cold and run out of time. "You will shiver till you deliver. You will remember it all, let it blow your mind again. Evan lies beyond this portal. Take the word of one immortal." Song cut. Shukaku tried to attack Suzaku from behind, only for the Saiyan Biju to turn around and punch him across his jaw, sending him back. Shukaku recovered quickly, only to meet Suzaku's shoe kicking him in the face. "Hey, is that all you got or are you hiding your strength?" Suzaku asked as Shukaku glared at him with blood running down his nose. "Hey, did you know your nose is bleeding? Clean yourself up, you're a disgrace," he finished and backed away from the Biju-controlled boy. "Just die, you little shit," Shukaku said and punched Suzaku in the stomach, causing him to kneel over, then elbowed the Saiyan in the back, then kicked him in the air and teleported behind him and hit the Saiyan with a double axe handle, causing the boy to crash into the lake nearby as Shukaku launched countless sand bullets. The Biju-controlled boy walked to the lake and grinned, but was soon replaced when Suzaku rises out of the water. "That was weak and your aim is lousy. What were you shooting at if you could? The second you sand went in it drowned in water. You must be stupid." "Oh well," Suzaku said, "I guess I have to show you how it's done. Good thing to cause. I wanted to test my true bloodline on you," Suzaku said and took a strange stance with both hand and a fist, with his left one over his head and his right sent out. Shukaku, against his better judgment, like always with that damn raccoon, waited, but not for long as Suzaku dropped and made a circular motion with his feet, causing green flames to come to life and swirl around, and sent the wave of fire toward Shukaku, who jumped over, but at a loss of abandoning his gourd, which turned to glass due to the heat. "This is one of my true bloodline limits, Shukaku, not my Yoten, not my hate and not even my Sharingan. This is one of them, my Mage Kasai, firebending," Suzaku said and shivered as he remembered his droid smile when it created the bloodline with an awaken effect. Soku then made a punching motion, causing a giant fireball to erupt and be sent toward, then slammed his hand on his stomach as a torrent of wind came from his mouth in an effort to put out the fire, only to get the opposite effect as the fire grew 5x bigger, making it as tall as the Biju in full. Tried to use the sand on the ground to make a shield, only to get ensnared by a tree rising from the could only watch as the fireball hit him dead on, sending him far deeper into the forest, then exploded, causing everything in a 2-mile radius to either burn, melt or turn to ashes. Well, pleasure of you two to finally show up, Naruto Midora Sensazaku said, not even bothering to open his now closed eyes. Sorry, but we had to let Inoki have his little parade. We were going to kill him when you and Shukaku powered spiked, so what do we call you? Naruto said, standing behind Suzaku facing the other direction. Suzaku is fine and it's good to see you again, Midora-san, the Super Saiyan Biju said to the woman in red armor with a gunbai on her back. It has Kaizen or Suzaku in this case, and it seems your dancing hasn't faltered a bit, Midora said with a smirk that soon dropped as they felt the large spike of chakra and see Shukaku back with third-degree burns and healing. You little shit, Shukaku said. Song resume. Give your soul to me for eternity. Release your life to begin another time with her. Shukaku stood before charging at the three. HMPH, come on boys, don't let me win, Midora said, and seen Suzaku step up and bite his thumb, then wiped it across his shoulder. As he did, 2 red dots appeared on his forehead and steam rose off his body. Well, goodbye lava release, but it was worth it, Suzaku said. Dance of the Dragon, Suzaku said and slammed his hands on the ground as a serpentine dragon made of bones erupted and was sent toward Shukaku. Kaiten. Zukaku, fire style. Head mincing pain, Midora shouted and set the dragon on fire, then watched as the dragon hit Shukaku, burning him. Shikatsumayaku secret jutsu. Deep bone forest emergence, Suzaku said as the dragon rooted itself to the ground and roots like bones sprouted from the ground and ensnared Shukaku, forming a giant willow tree. Midora grunted and exhaled a large mass of flames, burning the tree. End your grief with me. HMPH, is that all you got? Suzaku said with a smirk while pumping more chakra into his jutsu, which covered Midora's flames. There's another way. HMPH, not even close, Midora said, and I haven't even begun tone, while upping her not only burned through Suzaku's bone tree, but also created small booms until the tree exploded, leaving a battered, burned and bruised Shukaku who was still trying to get up. This thing doesn't die. I know Gaara's body can't take no more after the fireball, so why is it still moving? Suzaku asked. Release your life, take your place inside the fire with her. Song end. It's because Shukaku is rapidly sending out chakra healing Gaara while fighting, making the body last longer, but by now Gaara body should shut down, but it's time to finish, this Naruto said as he opened out his hand as a blue and red mixed sphere formed over. Take this, you shame of a Biju race and Zero, Spiral Doom Blast, Naruto said and teleported to Shukaku and launched the spinning blast into Gaara's back, obliterating the Biju and his host. There now, I think we overstayed our welcome on this horrible planet. The pods are ready along with everyone, we're taking, so let's go. A certain emo voice shouted, causing all three to turn to see Sasuke and Sakura glaring at Naruto. You have a lot of nerve taking my kill, you clanless bastard, Sasuke said with a Sharingan enhanced glare which Naruto, Suzaku and Midora scoffed at. Don't you dare ignore Kami, shut up, you bring shame to the Uchiha clan with your loud voice, Midora said facing Sasuke. You bitch, you can't talk to Sasuke-kun, he's an Uchiha, you're just some no-name, whore, Sakura said as Sasuke nodded, making Naruto and Suzaku jaw drop. Now if you don't mind, I want to deal with that trash and loser, so move, you smug. Cunt, Sasuke said, leaving the two Saiyan wide eyes as their jaws hit the ground and Midora only brushed a strand of hair and let out the breath she was holding. Yep, she said and punched Sasuke into a tree, which made Sakura scream until Suzaku chopped her in the back of the neck. Midora then appeared in front of Sasuke and proceeded to beat the living shit out of the ungrateful brat until he was barely standing. You think this is it, you stupid bitch, now face my super Uchiha rat, the emo started until Midora spin kicked his arm, dislocating it from the socket. HMPH, it seems you can't keep up with my steps, what a boring partner, you bring shame to the Uchiha clan. Before I was forced out due to Tobirama's fear shame, I battled top ninja, and you're nowhere close to any hell. I bet the girl with pink hair is more of a fighter, you bring shame to us, Sasuke, but you won't be part of the new Uchiha clan if this is the best that weakling branch members descendants can do, then your weakness is a sin, Midora said. Watched as Naruto burned Sasuke in a series of black flames until there was nothing but ash, then start laughing. Hahaha, he's gone, he's finally gone, haha, I'm so happy I might not even slaughter you all, haha, Naruto said, laughing like a madman. Really, Kankuro's stupid self said, hoping he wouldn't, seeing as how the three took down Gaara and Shukaku without a problem. Hahaha, oh no, you're all totally screwed, Naruto said and jumped back to Midora and Suzaku. Then Suzaku glowed and became to people, signifying the end of the fusion. Wow, that was a rush, I love that fusion, Kaizen said and looked next to him to see Sun in human form. Sun had red spiky hair going down to his back, his four tails swinging around, he wearing a black long cloak with orange waves licking the bottom and black undershirt, along with two black Anbu pants and grey shinobi sandals, along with a small red gourd on his left hip. It was now, if we be so kind as to leave this funked up rock, he said and dispelled himself, signaling a shadow clone. He's right, let's leave, it's time we go see Goku and the others again, and I know you want to see Bulma-chan, Naruto-kun, Midora said to her Saiyan mate, which he nodded in response. Both Kaizen and Naruto took out their remotes and pressed in the buttons and watched as their pods flew to their location and opened up along with a third pod with 3 Tomo on the front. "Well, look at that, it seems blood and combustion finished my pod, so let's go, shall we?" Madara said and flew into her pod as Naruto and Kaizen flew into theirs and sat down as the pod door closed up and flew from the planet until they suddenly stopped and Kaizen's and Naruto's pod opened up and they flew out. "Ready?" Naruto asked, getting a nod from Kaizen as they simultaneously use a gigantic Amaterasu on the planet and then each summons their Susanoo. Kaizen was his grey with red outlines, while Naruto's was purple. Sasuke's, Naruto, then shoot an enlarged arrow and Kaizen shot group of Yasaka Magatama respectively, which turned the planet into a ball of fire. Then they apply a second layer of Amaterasu to shrink the flames, shrinking the giant ball of fire which results in an explosion of the black flames. "Ahahaha, the goof is fire, they don't need no water, let the motherfunkers burn motherfunkers, ahahaha," Naruto yelled in the emptiness of space as the planet fell in black flames. "That's some OP bullshit right there," Kaizen said only to hear Naruto grunt. "HN please Yami-sama, don't got shit on my flames, let's go," he said, then entered his pod and the trio along with company took off toward their new home. Earth 3 years later. "Are sure Goku is gonna show up soon?" Yamacha asked. "Of course. I can feel his energy," Piccolo said. Vegeta was watching the two while trying to get a lock on Goku's signature when something shocked him and he slammed his hand on the table. "Son of a bitch," Vegeta shouted. "But still pissed off about the shirt?" Yamacha asked. "And well, yes, actually I'm absolutely livid, but that's not the problem, that idiot Kakarot failed to do the job. Frieza is still alive," Vegeta announced. "Oh my god, Gohan, it's him. Krillin panicked over the phone with a little half-breed. "Krillin, calm down. Now are you sure it's him?" Gohan asked, putting empathizes on the sure part. "Gohan, once you had a man inside of you, you know when he's coming." About an hour later the Z fighters had gathered around in the wastelands, waiting for the tyrant to drop down along with his father and another who they sensed when they got there but soon stood in absolute shock when they sensed 3 power levels higher than Frieza and the other 2 with him. Along with at least 10 other power levels near Frieza's that now flew over them, allowing them to see 3 Saiyan pods which shocked everyone as they landed and opened, followed by 3 figures standing out. "He's coming and he is mine, I have waited since 5 to kill this funking bastard, I will murder him and all he has," the first one said, who was a male. "HMPH, do what you want, it will be interesting to see the lizard Tampon's face when he sees what he fears most," the second male said. "HM you too, oh well I'm sure after Bulma-chan wants to see you again, Naru-kun," the female said, grinning. Hi, Naruto responded and sat on a cliff and looked up to see the tyrant's ship descending. "Yes, Frieza is going down, booyah motherfuckers," Krillin said, regaining his spine, which reassured Bulma and Gohan. Only ones confused were Tianchotsu, Yamacha and Vegeta, but remained quiet as they seen Frieza's ship open and the madman step out with at least 3 dozen Soliders. "My god, this drone, we're so far out in the space boonies there's not even a space radio shack, much less a space best Boo Circuit City, which reminds me Soliders, the scavenger hunt will begin, as such humans' heads are worth 1 PT. Namekian heads are worth 20 filthy half Saiyan brats 50 and, if you find any insubordinate full-blooded monkey garbage you win now go," Frieza commanded and watched as his Soliders started to run until they were all perished and fell over dead. What he yelled and looked to see them pierced with holes in some stomach, but what shocked him was that the weapons that did it were bones in the others along with fragments, then heard footsteps along with father and looked up to see a man with spiky ash gray hair that left one bang covering his eyes while the rest went down to his back. He was wearing blackish purple bandage wrapping from his mouth to his lower torso along his left arm as well. He wore grey Anbu arm guards, black fingerless gloves with the right going up near his shoulder, along with metal plates on the back. On the left plate was the kanji for retribution and on the right was the kanji for judgment. He wore black baggy pants with a holster on his left leg and a chain with a pentagram, the shape. On his right leg inside was kanji for 4. He also wore white bandage wrappings on his legs and combat boot, along with grey shin guards and a grey vest over his torso, and around his waist was a ash grey tail. "Frieza, I will be your end, you little worm, come and die." So this part ends here. Alright, that's it for today's video guys, let me know in the comments section how was the story and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will meet you in another video, bye bye.